Okay, it's Wednesday, April 27th, 2022. It's 4 o'clock, and we're going to start the Town of Sangerville Board of Selectmen meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item 2, approval of the minutes, Select Board meeting 4/6/22 and 4/12/22, and annual town meeting minutes 3/17/22.
I'll make a motion to approve both A and B.
Second.
All in favor? All three are in favor. Item 3, review of treasurer's warrants, payroll 33, 34, 35, and accounts payable 32, 36.
Make a motion to approve A and B is read.
Second?
All in favor? All three. Open session, we do have a guest. Did you want to speak today?
Oh.
Okay. Old business, assessor's agent contract.
Oh, the assessors agent, let's see, that's this one, that's Hamlin's.
That looks a little big.
Yeah, that's Hamlin's.
So is there anything that we need to discuss regarding this, or is this just pretty much a renewal?
Yeah, it's the same, the renewal.
Okay,
He held the same price?
so, I guess, I'll make a motion that we renew the assessor's agent's contract for 2022.
Second?
Favor, any further discussion?
Nope.
All in favor? Uh, 2022 assessor's return contract.
This is
That's
for
the thick one.
That's
the
from
big
the county. We actually don't pay it until September, that's the 150,000.
Oh, yes, that's the one that mysteriously went up 22% in the year
Yes.
that they got $3 million.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay. And this went through town meeting, we approved this at town meeting, so we're just basically.
Yeah, we're just signing it.
So I make a motion that we approve the 2022 assessor's return contract for the county.
Second?
Any further discussion? I'll vote. It passes. Bond contract 22-23.
Do we need to sign those, right?
Yep,
Yeah, okay,
we'll just
okay.
do them all.
Great. Don't let us forget.
I will not, in fact, it'll be my fault if that happens.
And this was also approved at the town meeting. for
Yep.
the-
It's CW Newt again, just so everybody knows what we ended up doing. So I make a motion that we approve the plowing contract for 22-23. Have a second?
Second?
Any further discussion? No? I felt
We already
like
talked about it.
pretty good year last year. And San Paulo looks good.
Yep.
Yeah, we have a lot left, actually.
Yeah. All those in favor? All in favor? Good. Done. New business? Nothing.
Quiet.
Town manager's report, CMP changed streetlights over to LED.
Yes,
They did it?
Yeah, it was completed beginning of last week, so they're all done.
Have you seen them? I haven't seen them.
I haven't been through it night yet.
I haven't either.
I wonder which one, I'm gonna look when we leave, cause I wanna notice which style they put in.
Yeah.
I'm
Huh.
curious.
They're all done.
All right.
If you look up, you can tell. I see.
So we
Single
start
header
saving money
double.
immediately.
Yes, yes, yes.
When they did
And they
that,
all
did they
should-
ask you what type? Or
Did you have a
they just-
choice?
No, we just signed the contract and yeah, so.
Cause I had noticed, when I went through Guilford one night, it's like when you come across the bridge, the one at the intersection, that was fairly bright. But when you were coming down headed past Whitney's and down by the hardware store and everything, as you're going down through, you see them, but it's more of so faint that, and when you're actually driving by them, they didn't really even cast onto the, you know what they're not much of a light. I mean, they're a light, but they're not bright or anything by any means. So I called Jeff and asked him about it, and he said that the ones, they did it on purpose, is what they wanted, but all of those down through that stretch were basically a single, and on the intersections, they put the brighter double, basically it's a double light, is what it
I
was.
see.
So, I'm just curious to.
See what we got.
Yeah.
Okay.
They all should be working now, though.
Yes, they are. Sure.
Once they place those, who owns them? CMP still own those, or do they, you guys take them?
Actually, we have a long-term contract
We have
with them.
long-term,
You do?
yeah,
Yeah.
15-year contract.
Road Commissioners report. Culverts, sewers, Mills Road.
Yes, I put that on there just so we could have a discussion about the culverts.
Did you
on
get a
Silver Mills
complaint?
Road. Yes.
Who?
Might have been me.
Yeah.
Well, no, I actually, if you haven't been down by there, two of them have a very distinct trough all the way across them now.
Yeah, you gotta go extremely slow.
Yes, so the other morning on the way to work, it's like, I wonder. I get out of my Jeep and crawl down into the ditch, and sure enough, it's collapsed. So then,
Is it collapsed or egg-shaped?
it's, however, it's collapsed in the middle. It's-
Oh,
it's
okay,
pushed-
buckled, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, I haven't checked the rest of them, but I did talk to Chris last night about it, and, we were talking about the road in general, and he was down on Anderson, and we were talking about all kinds of different things, but anyway, that conversation come up, and he goes, yeah, well, at least 5 of them, 5 of the 9 need to be changed, and the 4 aren't far off. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, 5 of them are collapsed. I said, well, like that? I said, you mean like that one? He says, yep. And I said, well, pretty good odds that, what are the other 4? And he goes, oh no, they're started. And I said, well, if they've started, they're collapsed, because it's, once you've started the integrity,
Right.
it's going, it's not
Right.
like it's gonna get better.
Yeah.
Right, so, all 9 of them, I guess. I haven't visually looked at all 9, but that's what I was told last.
So when you got down and looked through, is it?
Oh, you'll see it. I mean, it's around, you should see round, and you
Right,
don't.
all the way straight through.
And, you can see the centers.
And why is the center collapsed?
Well, if we had a better pizza last year, I talked to Mike about this when we were doing it, and I mentioned it, but, they did half culvert, half culvert. So in my mind, I highly questioned, how do you compact the middle if you do it that way? So,
So there's a coupling,
in
a
the
collar
middle,
in the
yeah.
middle.
yeah. You know what I mean? If
Yeah,
you-
yeah.
If you compact up, then you gotta dig it back out again, and then there's no way to, you have to dig into part of what you already filled,
Right,
so
right.
how can you fill that and still get compaction? If I was gonna guess, I would say that's why, but the one that I looked at, it is in the middle. What's that?
Center of the road gets double of the traffic, because every
Yeah.
direction is always a tire in the middle, you know what I mean? So it gets double with the other
But,
side.
I mean, I didn't measure it, I'm just looking in down that hole, and to me it looks, she's in the middle, it's in that section of the culvert that's,
Is the road more depressed there as well?
you can't. see
No,
it. But we've had as much fill and everything else
Yeah,
over
yeah.
it since last year, it's pretty hard to,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I mean, really, a lot of compaction took place afterwards, because we kept filling those troughs with gravel.
Sure.
Right.
And they
right.
kept, now a lot of it got plowed away, but I think a lot of it was going down. Terry went through, she said it was really bad.
Yeah, you go slow. I mean, I've gone a couple
But the
times.
shame is, it looks like we just flushed 9 culverts.
Right.
And
That's the
yes,
question.
an extreme amount of money last year.
So anyway, as I was talking to Chris, and I know we've had this conversation, and I don't wanna beat this conversation again. And one side of me, I know right where Mike's gonna go, and I do fully agree with him, that if you install a plastic culvert correctly, it's supposed to work. But part of installing a plastic culvert correctly is you have to have a good road bed to start with, and that's what we don't have. So what we were talking about it, and what he thinks is happening, not so much in this instance, or partially this instance, but more so in other places we've done this, is even when we've tried the wider V, we dig it out, we put the culvert in, and you compact it right, and you put all that gravel in, over time, with the frost and everything else, you've got clay all around it. So the frost and everything else is always trying to move that clay and that gravel, and that's what Chris's thought process is to how you could do a culvert that's pretty good one year, and as the time goes on and it starts to get a worse or deeper impression, he thinks that might be part of it, is that gravel clay that is all working back and forth together. Which kinda makes sense, I mean.
Yeah, I think it goes back to, you're
preparation.
taking a road that really was never engineered.
No.
Right,
And you're
right.
trying to patch
Sure.
it together. But for our purposes, based on what you know, and what is likely to happen, we're back to zero on that road.
Yep.
So there's nothing really to block us in terms of, if we're ever gonna fix it,
Now
it's
it's
as
time.
good a time now as it was last year,
Yep.
unfortunately. That's just the reality of it. I think we ought to seriously look at getting a price of doing what needs to be done to make that road an actual road. It's just laid right there through that swamp, there's no elevation. What would it cost to raise that road 3.5, 4 feet? And would it work? I mean, I'm wondering if we'd get somebody involved that could do that and see what it costs. Cause we're just chasing our tail over there.
I was thinking if we could at least friggin' grind it and even go a foot.
Yeah, like we did over to Hartford Lane.
I mean,
Yeah,
a foot
yeah.
would be a,
I look at my road, and I don't know if that was previously a county road over there or
Yeah,
not.
it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Because I have these there are places where there's 8 to 9 feet of material that was put in, and and I've got plastic culverts that are
Right.
better than 2 feet, but they're down 8 or 9 feet, and many of those is not even a bump. That road's not engineered that way. It's
and
just
I
a
would like to
shame.
get somebody involved, cause I mean, like I said, I agree with the plastic culverts, but I'm just looking at history on that particular road. This will make, I'm guessing, I've been there 15 years, this will make the 4th time that we've been out. And it's been 4 different people doing the work. So,
4 different times those culverts have
this
been
will,
replaced.
this will make
Yeah.
the 4th
So
time.
obviously,
No,
it's like,
and it's not gonna, I mean, no, maybe if we had put metal culverts in there, they wouldn't have buckled, I don't know that. There's no material there.
Correct. I'm at the, honestly, I would like, especially if we're gonna lift it, if I think you could, especially that flat stretch, there's hardly any grade there.
No, there is.
If we're gonna lift that road, I think we could do some more ditching and we could eliminate half of those culverts. And at least that lessens everything by
Correct.
50%.
sure,
Correct.
sure.
You know what I mean?
And even if they're terrible culverts, at least you get half the number of speed bumps.
That's what I mean, it's just, everything is better.
And there's 10 culverts on that road, I've counted, because I've been over there several times.
Yeah, it
But
would be great to,
after you get past by Jerry's place and your sight up that road, you can.
towards
you-
23?
Yeah,
Toward-
it just
yeah,
basically
yeah.
looks like a road through a swamp,
Yeah,
there's just
yeah,
no elevation there.
Right, yeah.
And to the left, there is a fair, I mean, that road really, you don't notice it when you're driving it, but it goes up there pretty good. There's a pretty good hill up in there.
Oh, yeah.
And it
yeah.
all comes down through that
Yes.
to walk,
Yep.
go through.
Yeah.
Yep,
And I mean, when the old Carl place on the right, when they were cutting that wood, I remember how much of a,
actually, I've looked at the
There's a
topo,
lot of
there's
water
a
in
lot
there.
of elevation
Yeah.
towards the west.
yep.
Yeah.
Well,
That has to go somewhere.
You're getting right up on Bean Hill. I mean,
Yeah, well, it's actually all headed to Center Pond.
yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the beginning of Center Pond. That culvert that's right after Irving's driveway, that water that comes down through, that's what goes down through and feeds the
Center
beginning of the bog.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I think we oughta, I guess, are we in agreement that before we throw 9 more culverts into what we have,
and
let's get a
then,
price
and
of.
then pave and
Right.
have them fail.
Right.
Right.
I mean, that doesn't
You
make any
can't pave
sense.
until you fix the culverts
No.
anyway.
Is there anybody at the county that, and I know that wasn't always the best idea, but we used to have that guy that worked for the county that was a resource for road things. Do we have that now?
He retired,
He did.
Correct.
He did.
Phil was his name, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
But I don't know if there's been a replacement or not. But I would check.
Yeah, I can check.
And I
I
mean.
mean, even if
and-
you don't have so many culverts, put them in concrete. You can get concrete culverts instead of plastic.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
Right.
then you know they're not gonna buckle.
I mean, somebody like, I mean, I know that they're doing way bigger construction, but like Howard Gordon, I mean, they're.
Howard can
that
do it, I
road-
know what he's gonna tell us, he's gonna wanna do state specs all the way through.
That's the problem.
It'll break your back. Now, it probably would stay up, probably hold up, but.
That'd be engineered then, if it goes to that.
Yes, it would.
Engineered.
But the problem is it would take our entire road budget just to get the dirt work done. And that's,
Probably you're pretty close.
and that's not counting, that's using your plow money.
No, I can't do that.
No, but I mean.
Yeah, yeah,
no,
We need to
reality
get
is-
numbers before we could, but
Yeah.
I think it's worth investigating.
But I think you need to go from Anderson Road at least,
That's
The old
what,
Carl place.
Probably Bob's.
No, I was going the other way.
To 23?
Yeah, towards 23.
yeah,
You go
because when
to-
I was measuring the other day, I was trying to figure, do you wanna go from Brockway, do you wanna go from Anderson Road, where do you, I
We wanted
mean.
to go to the bridge.
I would go
Right,
over the bridge.
which was at Brockway.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is 2.4 miles.
So you
from
got,
23.
And that's 10 culverts between.
That's 10 culverts.
To
between-
Brockway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to
23 to
Brockway.
Brockway.
Yeah, it's 10 culverts, 2.4 miles.
yeah, you got a section from, the section above me, from Blockler's to Johnny's old house. That really should be raised 6 inches or so. That's very wet, and through there, that's all like this, cause there isn't enough. If we were gonna do it, that section needs to be done, probably from Anderson Road to the corner. I would think we would wanna lift that at least a foot. And then from the corner down to the old Carl place, that could probably use 6 inches or so. But I know that section when we paved that 15 years ago, I know there's 7 inches of shim in that road.
Oh, gosh.
So we measured it before they did it.
Wow.
Laid a 2x4 from the center out.
Measured it.
Who did Hartford Lane for us?
Hartford Lane, you mean
Yeah, when we did,
Right
when we
below
raised from
Blaine's.
Hartford Lane back.
Rockford?
No, right below Blaine's. Who did it? That, right there.
Wait, that was a little bit of a mess up. Remember the original breaking up of the
That was
pavement?
Herrick.
It was, yeah,
Oh,
older
yeah.
Herrick.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was just.
And Steve came in and kind of tweaked that job
Yeah,
for us.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It ended up being pretty good.
yeah.
But again, we raised that up quite a bit.
I wouldn't hesitate
Call
to start
Steve.
with Steve.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Lawson.
Yep.
Yep.
Alright,
I just don't think we got that many road builders, hot top road builders left around here by any means. Got all kinds of people who can haul gravel
Sure.
and lay it and blah, 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 but as
I
far
can
as the
call
advice of how to do it.
This guy Peter from DOT, maybe he can give me some.
yeah, I wouldn't, you might reach out to Garland too. They rebuilt a couple gravel roads over there and they did a good job.
Yeah, actually, I met the administrator from Garland.
Now, they may have done it themselves, I don't know.
Which piece?
When you're going out Avenue Road and you take that 90-degree, they added like 18, 20 inches of stone and then they put cloth and gravel. And that used to be right to your axle in the springtime and it was pretty good this year. You go across the dam and that's the Avenue Road to Exeter. And you
Yep.
get up there, it's 90 degrees and 90 degrees.
Staying alive?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Oh, Parkman Road.
The Parkman Road was one, but the one that goes straight was even worse. They raised that, like I said, a good 18 to 20 inches.
Yeah, the Jones Road.
And it held up
Yeah, it's Jones
it
Road.
held up pretty good.
Yeah, they did that out of their own pit.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, they've done, like all the Hill Road, that used to be a mud run 30 years ago. 25, they built it up that much.
Well, what we were talking about before you got here was Sills Mills Road,
Just what we talked about last night.
beyond Dale back to 23.
Less culverts raising it.
And what about raising that road an amount so it's actually a road? I mean, is that something you'd look at and
Yeah.
work out a price for us? Because we're all sick of tearing up these culverts every,
The other thing I brought up, Chris, too, was from Anderson to the corner. If we did lift that, could we ditch that differently so we could get rid of some of them culverts? I mean, there's one that's damn near to the corner that's really, there's no grade to it.
Yeah, probably 2 of them up through there till Irvin's can come out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think one got eliminated last year.
Yeah, the very
The
first
closest one
one,
to you.
yeah.
I think, I can't remember now, but I was looking at it, I think that one that's dropped out sharp right now can come out and put a 2-footer in
Mm-hmm.
back towards.
The other way.
house,
Yep.
Where it runs down, and then I think another one can get eliminated up towards the corner.
Yeah, and I think there's another one after the corner. Oh,
Yeah, it's up on the, just that name where his feet.
above, yeah, well, I mean, even further up the hill than that. There's one up there I think can go away.
One up by Kelvin's.
Yep.
And it's a good, cause that just goes on to.
I'm just going with the theory that if we eliminate any of them, we don't have to worry about maintaining them again. I mean,
our thought is we're nearly back to square one. We got so many culverts there that didn't survive the winter, that if we're gonna fix it,
All of them,
Yeah.
Except for
Christmas.
the steel one. The steel one that got reset is just straight.
It's like a gun barrel. Well, maybe we could use an iron pipe up there, but,
And I talked to Brian Howard last night. Got a phone number on where he gets his concrete pipes from. I was gonna price them out.
Good.
awesome.
I've worked with them in Dexter on the Camp Road. And it was a state funded project, or government, USDA. And he was putting 15-inch culverts in with that much gravel over them. And they spec'd it with concrete. We put the same clay right back over them, around them, up to where the gravel line was in the road. And then gravelled it, and then we gravelled the whole road. And I plowed that camp road for probably 4 years, and they never moved. They didn't crush.
Do you remember what they cost?
That's why I was gonna find out. They
Yeah,
come
okay.
out of New Brunswick.
I mean, if they don't fail, I mean,
Overall cost is
Right.
an A more, but if you get twice the
oh
longevity.
yeah, it's
sure,
an easy
yeah.
decision.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
a fix, not a Band-Aid.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's a good start.
And I brought up too from Blockler's to Johnny's old place, how that needs some gravel, and
Yeah.
we're gonna do that.
Yeah, not, probably halfway,
Yep.
I'm thinking. Take some of that hard yank out of it.
Get that.
Right, cause that's the same deal, it's all stone wall into that boggy area, and it's just,
But it's the same deal, the other thing if you're gonna look into this stuff, I guess, Bob Brown's culvert. That's been a forever, I don't, it just, you gotta stop. I mean, when that thing's bad and we don't fill that in the spring, you literally have to stop when you get there and ease through it, or you're not gonna have nothing.
right now, it's about that high, cause I gotta cut it off.
Yep. Now we cut the one off, that's cut off now too, and blew us.
Bob doesn't have a driveway culvert, does he?
No, you don't.
I mean, I don't know if you could swap, if you could go with a driveway culvert for him.
It'd be a long one. And then
But there's a pretty long one there now, across, that cross culvert's diagonal.
Then
Yeah,
there's not much of a not much of a ditch going down the hill.
on that side.
Right, you got the maple trees and, is it 6 feet maybe to the top? 8 feet?
We could ditch though, and rip wrap down so we got to the stream.
Oh, you'd be getting into stone wall.
You know, and he thinks there's some ledge.
I wouldn't
Bob
be-
thinks there's some ledge.
Well, I've been in Bob's basement, and I'm telling you, there's ledge right there, for sure.
Probably a pretty good reason that pipe goes the way it goes.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, it kinda reminds me of East Sangerville, Flanders Hill, that weird
Mhm.
one there that's really deep, and supposedly that's because of ledge. Right where Flanders Hills connects, there's no cross culvert at Flanders Hill. They go across to that field.
Right,
That's what everybody said there, was you can't go across Flanders, can't bring that across Flanders Hill, because that's ledge. They said they tried and it failed.
And it's like a sinkhole down to that culvert.
yeah, right.
It's a weird one.
'Cause you got all the fields.
Mhm.
dumped
Yep.
there. Dynamite or a big jackhammer on yesterday.
We had pretty good luck with the jackhammer up here. We moved a lot more material than I think we thought we were gonna be able to.
Right.
I'm sure it depends on the type of ledge you're dealing with, but.
But I think I think that's, before we do anything, we gotta go on that whole
Yep.
concept of
Yep.
what we're gonna do there. The only other big thing, I don't know how, Chris got Anderson, that's not bad. I don't know how your road, I was curious, haven't been up how Thomas Road is.
It's dried up.
It's dried out.
It's ready to rock and roll to be graded.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
But it did dry up.
Oh, yes.
Oh, nice.
Yep. It sure did.
You toothed up this year?
Yeah, it's sitting over the claims right now.
Alright. Cause it's, some of these roads are ready to do, aren't they?
Yeah, I did some of them, so
Good?
trying to shape them up. I did line road. Yeah, a week and a half probably,
Cause I think
but it.
that's the other road, we need to talk about what we're gonna do there, I think.
Yeah, did we have any feedback from Dope Foxconn?
No, I haven't, I'll call him, I'll call him.
Okay, you
talk
didn't
to Jack.
acknowledge,
Yeah, I'll
or
call
you
him.
have reached out though?
I'll call and talk with Jack
Okay,
on Friday, I got a training tomorrow.
okay. And also, and I know, to nag on this, but we still have
Have
not
to have
had,
the- on the,
yeah, when he assessed, we wanna know where everybody was.
was on the,
On the landfill.
Done, yeah,
Yeah.
landfill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, which, actually, sorry, we'll keep going, I guess, talking, and we'll all keep thinking of stuff, cause it's been too long since we met, but, the agreement for the landfill, for us. And as far as
Oh, yeah.
Butch wanted to give us that piece of property.
Oh, yes.
Were you able to find that agreement on the landfill and our liability?
I can't find, I looked at all our old records, I can't find anything about how it even,
Did you look at the deed?
I read the deed, it's nothing, it's not
I
listed.
thought you, yeah, there's nothing there.
I didn't read anything in it.
Interesting.
That's why
I
I
know
would
there's
like
a
to,
responsibility for the town as far as.
sure, but
yeah.
I don't see where the town benefits from owning that piece of property.
I agree.
Because if we have any responsibility,
I'd need some explanation.
yeah,
It doesn't make any sense.
No.
whatever our responsibility is, the landowner has to allow us to fulfill our responsibility, and if they're not willing to do that, I think that would be an admission of they're now responsible.
That's right.
I mean,
Yeah.
so, I don't know where we would
Seems
wanna
like it
take
could
that.
increase our liability, not lessen it. Now,
Right.
that could be wrong, I'd be open to some explanation, but I'd need an explanation.
Yeah, cause
I don't see the
from what
point
I get, from,
taking off
you know,
the tax roll.
MMA and,
Yeah, MMA almost supported the idea,
correct, yeah,
but not with much explanation.
No.
But
and so did.
I can get that though, because a lot of people don't think the way we think about things like this. You know what I mean? I can see where they would say, oh yeah, you probably ought to own that, but I don't see that.
And then when you ask them why, they go,
Yeah. That's what I mean.
yeah.
But I don't see the benefit for us to take it off the tax roll.
I don't either.
Well,
No?
I did look into that, it's $33.
It doesn't matter. I don't, we have a lot of property that I don't think we should own. I don't really
Right.
wanna add more to it
No.
myself, unless there's a reason.
Yeah, I'm open-minded, I just,
Okay.
for them just to say it's a great idea, I need a little more than that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. We signed your contract, by the way, Chris. That's a surprise.
Yeah, we get
Well,
Christmas.
did we really sign it yet?
Well, it's right there.
Officially, yes.
We approved it.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
I should mention, I did put it on the report, the Recovery Act money, that we have to file a report by Saturday. I have a phone call and 4 emails out to them with a number, and I'm not the only one, where there's issues with trying to even get in to enter the information. So,
So in theory, if we don't meet the deadline, what could happen?
in theory, they could say, they could try to penalize you, but speaking with MMA and all the emails I've seen, in theory, the government knows there's
The
an
system's
issue.
overwhelmed.
Yes, I'm 88 in the queue for phone call
Oh.
returned back.
Oh
That
my
was,
gosh. Oh my gosh.
and I've got emails, so, and I try to get.
Yeah, I'll
to
mention,
that.
we should talk about it.
Was the, not clinic, I can't think of the name,
Not really,
Not
no,
helpful?
no, and we had another one. However, they don't tell you, when you go in, I have to first prove who I am.
right, I remember them saying that it was huge.
Yes, yeah,
It-
so I've
they-
got that done, but we're just, it's how the state of Maine set it up for each town, and how each state set each town up,
Oh.
that it's not communicating, so they have to actually go in and reset it,
Oh, geez.
the admin control, so that it can come back to us, but we shouldn't be penalized.
Okay, I think we should mention, because people at home can't see your agenda, this actually was Dale's brainstorm, and I think it's pretty cool. At the bottom of my agenda here is, Sangerville Fire Department calls for 2022, and this is gonna be an ongoing thing. Can we get this on the website?
It is,
Oh, okay. So people are gonna be able to track the number of calls, the type of calls, whether it was mutual aid or, so, go ahead.
It's not the number of calls, it's the hours
hours.
for that type of incident.
And some of this is already kind of surprising to me. I mean, so I think this will be good. The longer the track record, the more useful it'll be, but it's cool. Anything else? None? Make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
All those in favor? It's 4:30. We're adjourned.